Hello, my name's Stuart. Welcome to Miniature Realms on the second in a series of videos focusing on lore in Warhammer the Old World. This time, the Warriors of Chaos.
Miniature Realms is proudly sponsored by Baron of Dice, premium wargaming dice. Over 500 styles, over 4,000 customer reviews. Welcome to the best dice on the planet.
If you haven't already caught the first video and introduction to lore in 2276, you can find that here. You may want to watch that first as a nice way of setting the scene before you delve into this one.
Welcome back, my lad. So you want to hear about the threat from the north, eh? Well, you know the score. Mine's a pickled weasel, and grab some baked pig's ears while you're at it. Settle in then. Make sure you have a stiff drink. This tale gets dark, if you know what I mean. At the very north of the old world, beyond frozen Kislev, Troll Country and the Sea of Claws, lies the lands of Norska and the Chaos Wastes. This is a wild realm, a twisted landscape, beyond the imagination and comprehension of mortals. At the North Pole, since the Cataclysm, the raw fabric of chaos has entered the world through the Shattered Gateway. The Chaos Gods rule here, and their influence spreads south to Norska and the marauder tribes of the north, where many now worship the ruinous powers. In the beginning the world was pure, but the arrival of the Old Ones brought something else in their wake. Out of the ether came the ruinous powers, forcing their way through the gates of the Old Ones, causing their collapse, and tearing the Old Ones from the world. Chaos waged war upon the world. In the realm of chaos the gods fought for supremacy, and in the old world they became godlike, spreading their evil will down from the chaos wastes into Norska and beyond. The shattered land of the chaos wastes is no place for mortal man. By its very nature the land is torn between the reality of the realm of chaos and the physical world. It is a shattered land, where the cycles of the sun and moon follow no logical path, dangerous and desolate. Rivers run with blood and skies broil. Everything is twisted and corrupt. Here lie the strongholds of the Chaos Warriors, those who have reached ascension through the worship of the Dark Gods. The very gaze of those gods have left them with gifts and mutations, some horrible, disfiguring and disabling. For others such change has made them more powerful. As armour has melded with flesh, their very size and strength increased. But there is always great cost to bear for such burdens. These champions vie for power, roam the wastes leading great warbands, duel other chaos lords for supremacy, build fortresses of twisted rock, volcanic glass, bleached bone and blood-slicked brass, and lay siege to those of their rivals. To the south of the Chaos Waste lies the Shadowlands of the northern tribes, spanning the northern coast of the Sea of Chaos west to the World's Edge Mountains, then down to meet Norska to the Sea of Claws and Kislev. It's a land of towering peaks and frozen glaciers. Chaos looms strong, the winds of magic flow from the Chaos Gate. Warpstone dust makes the air dark and sickly. It is a land of horrifying brutality and mutation. Yet even here men endure, ancient tribes of Northmen, long worshippers of the Chaos Gods. In many regards the northern tribes are not unlike the men of the old world. While savage and often barbarous, they are also mortal. They make homes, have children, and in times of peace trade with the people of Kislev, the Empire and Bretonnia. Yet, living in the shadow of the Chaos Waste means that these more peaceful activities cannot become that of common life. Their worship of the Chaos Gods mean they are forever changed. Mutation is common and often welcomed as a blessing, while in the Empire such gifts result in persecution. Those with mutations are forced into hiding, the dark places of the old world, witch hunters employed to rid the world of evil corruption. While the Northmen are undeniably human, their appearance is very different to their more southern cousins. A hard life of toil and danger leave their mark as much as their devotion to the Chaos gods. Often larger and more muscular than the men of the south, Northmen wear their hair long, thick facial hair is common. They wear crude clothing, protecting themselves from the harsh climate with animal furs, wear crude jewellery, tokens and tattoos. They live in a society of constant war. They are fierce, barbaric and bloodthirsty, always ready to rise up, form alliances with rival chieftains, tribes and warbands under the leadership of a mighty Chaos champion, fighting for their beloved Chaos gods. The multitudinous tribes of marauders belong to larger barbarian nations. These organizations do not exist in the way in which men of the old world's nations do. Members of these tribes contained within may not recognize these nations at all. They are created by men of the civilized world as to better understand the alliances, organization and politics of the marauder threat in the north. Directly above the northern provinces of the empire lies Norska, a cold and mountainous land filled with wild beasts, trolls, giants and fierce Norse warriors. These are hardy warriors, building vast longships or wolf ships. The largest tribes of the Sarls and the Scalings are often traders and mercenaries, though as often as not trade in piracy too. More northerly tribes, like the Kelvigs and the Vargs, feel a stronger influence of chaos, and their raids are feared along the civilized coasts of the old world. Travelling east we find the Kurgan, bloodthirsty and barbarous nomadic tribes, equally at home on foot or horseback, who very often make up the majority of a Chaos invasion force into the old world. It is in the most northern Kurgan tribes, like the Gahars and the Avargs closest to the Chaos waste, that unnatural gifts of chaos and mutations are more widespread. The Dolgams and Tolkmars, more southerly Kurvan tribes, are often found living peacefully alongside Kislev-Ungol tribes, trading and serving as mercenaries when not called to war by a mighty champion of chaos. In the north there are no great cities, no great rulers, kings or queens to draw the various nations together. Tribal confederacies are formed through complex alliances of those who share similar traits and worship the same powers. The tribe of the Hound follow Karnath or Khorne, one of the most bloodthirsty, brutal and powerful Chaos gods. Skulls are piled high in honour of their deity's might. The followers of the tribe of the Carrion Crow worship the diseased, rotting, flightless bird. Naeglen or Nurgle is ever present during times of famine or plague, and rather than despair at such times, they see them as a signal of the gods' rising. The tribe of the Serpent follow the Dark Prince of debauchery and excess, brewing hallucinogenic potions and consuming toxins in an attempt to combine the serpent form of Shornal or Slanesh. They arrogantly believe they deserve the rewards of their god. The tribe of the Eagle worship the soaring eagle, Char or Zinch. These warriors often worship in secret while living amongst larger groups, many being shamans or soothsayers. Their goals are often complex and secretive. As the hordes of chaos march to war, they bring a terrifying array of evil warriors to the field. Led by the great warriors of the Chaos Wastes, the champions of chaos, and by demon princes whose devotion to their dark lords has seen them elevated to demonhood, and chaos sorcerers who are champions of chaos blessed with magical mastery. Powerful chaos warriors and chosen form the backbone of their heavy infantry, cavalry and chariots. Vast hordes of marauder warriors, horsemen, berserkers and huskal fill out the ranks of their massed troops. Vile mutated former chaos warriors take the field as Forsaken. Thuggish chaos ogres and dim-witted evil chaos trolls take the field alongside chaos spawn and chaos hounds. Chaos dwarf crude hell cannons provide artillery, and if this foul tide wasn't enough, manticores, chimeras and chaos dragons take the field, none more reviled than the evil Galrak. Countless times throughout the history of the old world have the civilized realms been threatened by invasion from the north. Aside from the great campaigns of the Everchosen, many smaller campaigns have also taken place. In the time period of which we study, a significant campaign springs to mind, the saga of the Chainmaker. Frial had long set fear in the hearts of civilized folk along the coasts of Kislev, the Empire, and Bretonnia. She led brutal and savage rage from Norska year after year, leaving gentlefolk, fishermen and sailors cowering in their hovel towns, desperate to replenish their frugal stores, only to be raided again. In the spring of the year 2264, the coastal residents felt relief for the first time in years, as no raids came. Frial had journeyed north with her most fierce warriors to the realm of chaos, her first steps to the path of glory. The powerful warrior soon drew favourable eyes from the gods. Her victories grew in number, as did her followers. Her power also increased. Soon she was able to shatter shields with one single blow from her flail. A gift of horns grew from her forehead like an infernal crown. On return to Norska, Frial wasted no time in usurping many Norscan chieftains and subjugating their tribes. Each year her fleet grew, her armies became more powerful, and her path to glory became closer. Frial wanted to bring war to the people of the Empire. For too long these weak-willed fools worshipped inferior gods and ignored the dark majesty of chaos. Frial's fleet set sail across the stormy Sea of Claws. Fear and alarm spread and the Norska fleet emerged from the mist. The town of Holm had suffered raids many times over, but this time Frial wanted to show the people of the Empire what fear truly was. This was more than a mere raid. As the wolf ships landed at the docks of Holm, they were met by volleys of handgun fire and crossbow bolts, but the defenders were soon overpowered. Frial and her enchanted flail led the way as her warriors slaughtered. In celebration of her victory, a great monument to the dark gods was raised, with stories of her victories recorded for all to see. Her shamans played foul enchantments on the monolith, and 8 pointed stars were set in the surrounding countryside. Soon after Frial's victorious forces left Holm, going back to the sea, the returning townspeople tried to remove the taint of chaos from the ruined town, but no matter how hard they tried, they could not shift the great chaos monolith. The raiders returned the following spring. With the power of the monolith, this assault was even easier, and soon the town had fallen again. Frial's fleet had now grown, and she turned her attention to the port city of Arau, defended by the famous Manan's Blades, an experienced, disciplined mercenary company and the defenders of Westerland. The largest part of her force approached Arau from the sea, but a smaller force of her most dangerous and wild followers attacked the town via a wooded wilderness on foot. Manan's Blades were set to defend the coastal attack, and as a result Frial's land berserkers were able to approach the town unhindered. Her marauders scaled the harbour walls, controlled the gatehouse, and began setting fires across the small city. Manan's Blades proved themselves to be worthy foes, and it took Frial herself to break the ranks with her flail, killing their commander in one strike after he offered her challenge. This was the turning point in the battle. After this, Frial's warriors were able to overcome all the defenders. There were no recorded surviving defenders on the assault of Arau. Upon hearing word of the attacks, Empress Margarita of Westerland feared her political rivals from other provinces would seek to take advantage of Westerland's weakened state. In response, she turned to the vast wealth of the Marienburg treasury to hire a mercenary army. With winter approaching, she ordered the mercenaries to assemble in Marienburg in readiness for the next spring's campaign. Instead of returning to their Norscan homeland, most of Frial's forces decided to secure their advantage remain in the ruins of Holm for the winter. Both sides sent scouts to spy on each other's positions, and a tense and fraught winter was felt. As spring emerged, Frial's armies were bolstered by returning forces from Norska, rallying to her banner fresh for a new campaign. Frial set her sights on Marienburg. The spring had come sooner than expected. Fair weather allowed the Westerland mercenary army to advance to Frial before her scouts could warn her. Both armies would meet for battle at the foot of the dark monolith in Holm. Players of Warhammer the Old World can play out the Battle of Holm in a scenario in the Warriors of Chaos Arcane Journal. It is not too many years that Azavar Kul, the 12th ever chosen of Chaos Undivided and the initiator of the Great War against Chaos in 2301, will arrive at the start of his campaigns. But before this, there is little doubt there will be many more examples of incursions like that of Frial the Chainmaker.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do give it a like, drop a comment below. It really helps the video be seen by other people. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't experienced it before, maybe consider subscribing and checking out the other videos. There's lots of old world content, from videos like this for lore, from painting, hobby and general discussion as well. You'll also find lots of things covering other game systems, so do check it out if you have the time. The plan is to continue these. We've started with an introduction, followed up with Warriors of Chaos, and I'd like now to work backwards through the released Arcane Journals, which will hopefully take us up to the time of the next Arcane Journal release, which will, fingers crossed, be Empire. I'm really excited about that one. You will notice that I'm focusing very much on the lore that is presented in those Arcane Journals, in the core rulebook, in the army books. I'm not spreading too much beyond that into the wider lore that has existed for 20, 30, 40 years in Warhammer fantasy. There's a deliberate attempt there to keep it to the old world stuff. There's a little bit of prehistory, but if you feel it's missing lots of stuff, that's deliberate, and that is why. But anyway, if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the video description below how you can do that. There's a couple of affiliate links. You can join my Discord. You can just subscribe and like and all the things I said before, but I do have a Patreon as well. And if you've enjoyed the content and you'd like to see more of that kind of stuff, it's a really fantastic way of helping me out. But thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.